The concept of the Antichrist is a significant theme in Christian eschatology and has been interpreted and discussed in religious and cultural contexts. He is often depicted as a figure of ultimate evil who will appear before the end of the world, opposing Christ and leading many people astray. The term is primarily found in the New Testament, particularly in the Epistles of John. It means against Christ or in place of Christ. It is used to describe a future deceiver who will claim to be Christ or act in direct opposition to Christ, as in John 2:18, "Children, it is the last hour. And as you have heard that Antichrist is coming, so now many Antichrists have come. Therefore, we know that it is the last hour." And in John chapter 4 verse 3, "And every spirit that does not confess Jesus is not from God. This is the spirit of the Antichrist which you heard was coming, and now is in the world already." The book of Revelation, written by John the Apostle, elaborates on the figure often identified with the Antichrist, although it does not use the term directly. Instead, it refers to the beast from the sea. Revelation the 13th of January 10 describes a beast rising from the sea, with 10 horns and 7 heads, symbolizing a powerful, oppressive entity that speaks blasphemies and wages war against the saints. Revelation the 13th of November 18 introduces a second beast, often interpreted as a false prophet, who deceives people into worshipping the first beast. This chapter also mentions the infamous number 666, associated with the beast. In Revelation 17, John also describes a vision of a woman seated on a scarlet beast with 10 horns, symbolizing a corrupt world power. Throughout history, various interpretations and theories about the Antichrist have emerged, shaped by theological, cultural, and political contexts. Early church fathers such as Irenaeus and Hippolytus identified the Antichrist with future political leaders who would oppose Christianity. They often interpreted current events and figures in light of this prophecy. During the Middle Ages and the Protestant Reformation, the concept of the Antichrist was frequently used to criticize religious and political opponents. For example, Martin Luther and other reformers identified the papacy with the Antichrist. In contemporary times, interpretations of the Antichrist often reflect global political and social anxieties, and a good majority of world leaders have been described as antichrists. So some believe that the Antichrist could be a future world leader or a symbol of systemic evil. Prophet Daniel has 2 visions of beasts, identifying them as the Antichrist. First, in Daniel 7, he describes a vision of 4 great beasts, each representing a kingdom: a lion with eagle's wings, symbolizing the Babylonian Empire; a bear with 3 ribs in its mouth, representing the Medo-Persian kingdom; a leopard with 4 wings and 4 heads, symbolizing the Greek Empire under Alexander the Great; a terrifying and powerful beast with iron teeth and 10 horns, representing the Roman Empire. Later, Daniel 11 provides a more detailed prophecy about the conflicts between the king of the north and the king of the south. This chapter describes historical events and future predictions, culminating in the rise of the Antichrist and the presentation of the final battle. The Antichrist will wage war against the king of the south and ultimately meet his end between the sea and the holy mountain. The Antichrist will deceive many with false promises and miracles. He will speak arrogantly against God and persecute the saints, will gain significant political and social power, leading many to follow him. Despite his temporary success, the Antichrist will be ultimately defeated by Christ. The Antichrist has also become a prominent figure in literature, film, and popular culture, often depicted as a charismatic but ultimately malevolent leader who deceives the masses. The concept appears in works like Dante's Divine Comedy, where the Antichrist is depicted as a future tyrant. In more modern literature, novels such as Left Behind by Tim LaHaye and Jerry B. Jenkins explore the Antichrist's role in end-time scenarios. Movies like The Omen and TV shows such as Supernatural and American Horror Story portray the Antichrist as a central character, blending religious prophecy with contemporary storytelling. Common traits attributed to the Antichrist across interpretations include deception. The Antichrist is a master of deception, misleading people with false promises and miracles, opposition to Christ, and determination to undermine Christian values. Often depicted as a charismatic leader, the Antichrist gains significant power, leading many to follow his ideas. Historically, figures such as Emperor Nero, Napoleon Bonaparte, Adolf Hitler, Vladimir Putin have been labeled as antichrists by some due to their extreme actions and perceived threat to human values. The concept is complex and multifaceted, and it serves as a symbol of ultimate evil and a warning about the dangers of deception and false leadership.